Ciao, homie. What's up, strongest men, women, and children from blocks all around the world? Thank you for joining me again on my block, Strongest Man, today. Before we get into today's topic, two really super quick reminders. One is TubeBuddy. So TubeBuddy, in my opinion, is the greatest Chrome plugin for your YouTube channel to increase your productivity and efficiency in building your channel quickly, much more quickly than you would without it. It has a lot of great features like a keyword explorer, bulk editing tools, advanced analytics, and the ability to create more custom thumbnails. Their free version is great, and they have an upgraded pro version, which is still super cheap. It was $9 a month last time I checked, so check the link in my description below and download TubeBuddy today. My second quick reminder is about Spreadshirt.com. So if you like my design with the everyman, strongman of the block carrying the recliner, and you were wondering if you could have that on a t-shirt, mug, or other accessories, it's available, so check out my link to Spreadshirt in the description below for that as well, and I greatly appreciate the support there as well. So on to today's topic. Enjoy. What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to my blog, Strongest Man, where we discussed using objects all around your home and your property to get in that daily workout. Remember, burning some calories is better than burning no calories. Small goals matter, you guys. Small goals do in fact matter. So today I wanted to discuss Jujimufu, and for those of you who have been living under an internet rock for a while and don't know who Juji is, he's an internet sensation. They call him the Anabolic Acrobat. He's really famous not only for his physique and his strength, but his flexibility. I mean, he's doing like crazy trampoline stuff, as you can see here. He's doing incredible splits. There's a picture of him on the internet somewhere of him doing a split while holding a barbell over his head, I think 100 pounds or 110 pounds, something that would seem impossible to anybody else. And so the news that Juji has made known is that he plans to compete in the Arnold amateur bodybuilding competition next year in 2021. And so my first kind of feedback to that, or my first reaction to that was, I mean, look at this guy. My first reaction was, this guy's not a bodybuilder already? How is that possible? I follow, at least to some degree, Mr. Olympia and some of the lower caliber shows. I don't want to say lower caliber, but the lead-ups to the Mr. Olympia, like the Chicago Pro and the New York Pro and the Tampa Pro. I've been following those lately, and I see what those kind of guys look like. And compared to other bodybuilders, he just seems super ripped to not be ready for a show already. Like, if any of you watch Greg Doucette's videos, he'll talk about what a proper body fat percentage should be for a bodybuilder off-season versus on-season. And if you look at what some of those guys look like off-season, Juji looks way more ripped than a lot of them, even Olympia caliber guys, look off-season. And so, I'm no expert bodybuilding judge by any means, but I just wanted to give my feedback here and kind of do a critique of his physique, if you will, and see where I think he might be excellent and where I think he might be lacking. So he's been getting some negative feedback on his triceps lately, and I think his triceps look great. So for me, and I'll pick out some different poses here. So here you can see this is like a crab most muscular, and I mean, look how vascular the guy is. He looks to me, at least in this pose, ripped enough to be in a show now. I mean, definitely an amateur show. So it's not like he's entering the Olympia. He wants to start off with an amateur show. He is definitely ripped enough for an amateur show here. And you can just go through a variety of different pictures. Even here, he looks, very ripped. This one, he's not really posing. This is a deadlift, so again, not an actual pose. Here's kind of a side bicep. That's not really a bodybuilding pose. Look at this. Look at him here. I mean, this is insane. The front double bicep, this is from an angle, but he just looks super ripped. Look at the abs. Look at the biceps. He looks in tremendous condition. So, again, for me, like, let's see if we can find a tricep pose somewhere where we can tell where people think his triceps are lacking. But here, look at this. Amazing. I mean, anybody would kill to have a body like this. This is insane. And of course, he's taken many years to get to this point. So, nothing but admiration there. And here's the picture I was talking about, where he's doing a split with a barbell over his head, and they're not 45s. So I think I read that this is, this looks like it's 225. I think it's 110 or something like that. But even at that, I couldn't do a split like this with no weight. So it's extremely, extremely impressive. And so let's see if we can find. I want to find a tricep pose somewhere so I can see where people think he's lacking. But personally, for me, I think where he needs to develop more is in the back definition. So let's see if we can specifically look that up. So we'll do Jujimufu back pose. And let's see what we come up with. There we go. So here's a good example. So here, he's big. His lat spread is very wide. Even here he looks very grainy, but some of the top bodybuilders have more definition in their back. It doesn't look, the middle portion with the trap tie-in doesn't look like kind of a big mass like this. Like he looks big and massive, but he doesn't have the definition that some other bodybuilders do. And that doesn't mean he wouldn't win a competition. He may win the majority of other poses. So that's where I think he has the most work to do, not the triceps. And what I wanted to do here is also compare to. Let's kind of go through. So I looked up other amateur bodybuilders. So I just said, let's see how he compares to the best amateur bodybuilder. And so, of course, Nick Walker comes up. And Nick Walker, as of very recently, is no longer an amateur. He got his pro card recently, so we got to discount him, right? So then I thought, Brandon Harding, that would be a really good comparison. Let's compare Juji's condition to Brandon Harding, because Brandon is also like very popular on the internet, and you kind of see him shirtless like this a lot. And so I thought it'll be really easy to find Brandon Harding poses. And like I couldn't. I looked through a lot of his videos, and there were kind of split-second ones and just not a lot of good comparison shots. So then I said, why don't we check who won this very same show, the Arnold Amateur, in 2020 this year? And so Fabio Rezende from Brazil won the Open class, which I don't know. I was trying to consider whether Juji would enter Open or Classic Physique. Those would be his choices. Men's Physique is too small for him. And so we have Fabio Rezende in the Open class, or Fabian Mayer from Austria in the Classic Physique. Those were your winners in 2020. And so I thought, well, what are the Classic Physique requirements? And so these are the requirements, height and weight. So if you're in a certain height range, you cannot be over a certain weight. Well, what weight is Juji? So we go here and we look that up on Google, and it says Juji is 5'10" and 240 pounds. And I've seen him fluctuate above that as well. I've seen him have videos where I said he was 246 or something like that. So he's in that range, right? So we take the 5'10", we come back to the requirements for Classic Physique, and between 5'10" and 5'11", you cannot exceed 205. I don't see him cutting down 35 or 40 pounds. He's just too lean right now already, even like many months out from the contest. So I don't see that happening. I think he would have to compete in the Open class. And so again, the Open class winner was Fabio Rezende. So let's take a look at what he looks like. And so I came here, and this is Fabio. So he won the Arnold Amateur Open class in 2020. Open meaning no height, weight restrictions, the best of the best. If you are a mass monster, please apply. Like, it's all good. So that's Fabio. And let's now bring this over and compare it to what we saw with Juji. And what we can do is, why don't we Google him? And that way we can get a variety of different poses and compare to, here we go. And so we'll look at various images of Fabio and various images of Juji. Okay, so Fabio looks pretty ripped here. But then again, we want to look at what he looked like on stage when he won. So here is a picture of what he looked like on stage when he won. If we compare to Juji's, Fabio's legs may be bigger. So let's see. Well, I don't know. When you look at something like this, maybe I take back what I just said. That's Juji's leg. So we can do something like that. And then we can compare and see if we have a similar pose. Their tans are very different from each other too, so it is a little difficult to compare. But again, here is a pose from his winning competition. And so you see striations in the chest, rounded shoulders, big traps, well-defined abs. I think Juji's abs are just as well-defined, and Juji actually looks a lot more vascular for what that's worth. And some of that may be genetic, but I don't know. Like, I think my inclination, so if we compare this to this, my inclination would be to say that Jujimufu right now, many months out from the Arnold Amateur in 2021, is already at a level of size and definition that he would contend to win it. He probably would not win a big pro competition, but I think he's right up there in contention to win an amateur competition right now. And he still has multiple months left to refine things like the back definition that I mentioned earlier. So I just wanted to jump on here and kind of go through, give you that comparison between Juji and Fabio so that you could see for yourself and make your own decision on whether you think Juji's making a good decision to compete in a bodybuilding competition, albeit an amateur one. As I said, I was shocked when I heard this that he isn't competing already. The guy looks fantastic and thousands of times better than I look or anybody that I know looks. So those are my thoughts. Thanks again for joining my blog, Strongest Man. I appreciate it. If you haven't yet, subscribe to my channel. Like this video. Please tell everybody you know to do the same. And remember to hit the bell button for notifications. And of course, until next time, as always, ciao, homie.